What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, guys. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Bournemouth at home, guys, at Old Trafford, at the Theatre of Dreams. So let's just get straight into today's video, guys. So I made no changes from our last game against Brighton & Hove Albion. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Pogba, Matic, Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial. Get into the overall reaction now. Mason Greenwood scores twice in crushing win. Man United hit 5 past Bournemouth. Could have done better defensively, but a win is a win. Wow, what a game, what a result. Fantastic performance, too easy, still unbeaten. Win done, 3 points done. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? It was a fantastic performance all round. Couldn't be happy with that. You know what, if you ask me personally, I was watching that game thinking, this is Bournemouth, we should be crushing them. We did crush them, right? Fair play, we did that. Well done to the boys. But teams like Bournemouth we shouldn't be conceding to, because this is a team that cannot score goals, and this is a team that's in a relegation scrap. The reason why we conceded those 2 goals was, 1, poor defending, and De Gea should never be getting beaten at near post. Second goal, don't think it was a handball because it was his shoulder, so you can't blame Bailey for that second goal. I think VAR completely got that one wrong. So at the end of the day, teams like Bournemouth, who are struggling right now for form, obviously for them, they were thinking that when they were 1-0 up, obviously it gives them the confidence and the momentum, and you're thinking, right, well, in the position that we're in right now, we need a drinks break, because Ollie needs to get some instructions out to the players. He needs to make some tactical changes as well, and he did that. Gave instructions to the players. We went out there, and then that was when United went out there and we played proper football in the end. And at the end of the day, United were controlling and dominating the game in the first 15 minutes. We were the better team in possession wise. I mean, could we break them down? Yes, but we weren't doing much in front of goal, and that sort of really put us down a little bit, and we just couldn't find our ground running. We couldn't find our confidence or the momentum or the rhythm in our pattern of play. So we were struggling, I'd say, the first 15 minutes into the game. And teams like Bournemouth, you shouldn't be really, because they're in a relegation scrap right now. You should be really 1-0 up within the first 15 minutes or something like that. 1-2-0 up at least. At the end of the day, it was a great performance by the players. It's 3 points on the board. It's a win as well. At the end of the day, we need to still get better in defensively. You know what, performance-wise, it was good overall. Couldn't be happy with that. At least we got the win, we got the 3 points, and let's see what happens with the other teams around us. First half, like I said, we were controlling and dominating the game in the first 15 minutes. We did well, but we got them on the front foot. We tried to create chances, but we just we could break them down, but we just had a lack of ideas in front of goal in the early parts of the game. And then that was where we sort of decided then, once they got the first goal, United were down. That made us work then to get a goal back. It made us work. When we got to the drinks break, Ollie got a few instructions out there, made a few tactical tweaks as well into the team, and that was where then we started getting on the front foot, created chances. We played with energy, we played with pace, we played with width. The transition was quick. You could see the rhythm and the momentum in the team, and that we needed to sort of get back into the game. And because we were 1-0 down, it was all down to how we reacted as well, and we reacted really well. We pushed them, kept pushing, we put the pressure onto them, and then that was where Greenwood got the first goal. And then obviously then a few mistakes were creeping into Bournemouth, and then that was when we got the second one as well. We went 2-1 up, and then it was brilliant then to sort of get the third goal just before half time as well. I think we were 3-1 up in the first half. Yes, we were. 3-1 was a good start, in the first half. But the thing is, for me, right, you're thinking, right, we're 3-1 up now, let's see this game out, because at the end of the day, Bournemouth really, at the end of the day, they're going for it, and we've got nothing to lose at the end of the day. You're just thinking in the second half, let's see out this game, let's grind out the result, come out in the second half. We're not there, then we give away the penalty, but that's not Bailey's fault. Personally, I thought that was not a handball, it was his shoulder, so that's down to VAR really. That was down to whoever was on VAR. Too many VAR calls for me in that game as well. It was one of these games where it was a stop and start game really. Bit of a weird game to watch in my own opinion. Second half we sort of come out, obviously we give away a penalty, could not do anything about that. That was down to VAR, and then we upped the ante a little bit. We sort of got back to the real Manchester United. We got on the front foot, put them back on the back foot. We created chances. The transition from defence to attack was brilliant. It was fantastic, and we just had to keep that going. And we play with high intensity, high tempo. We kept that intent on them. We had to keep pushing them back, kept pushing them back, and we did. Greenwood scored another fantastic goal. Bruno scored a fantastic free kick. All round in the game, it was fantastic. It was just a shame that we couldn't get a clean sheet in this game, but it was just defensively we were not there as a unit. We just didn't really keep it tight at the back. Made a couple of mistakes, but that's where the players have got to improve. Not only just defensively, attacking wise, we were fantastic. Don't get me wrong, because we scored 5 fantastic goals. But for teams like who are in a bit of a relegation scrap, we should not be conceding goals to. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about how the players reacted. The players reacted really well. They acted really positively. There's some positives to take from that game. Obviously, Mason Greenwood scoring 2 goals. Bruno on the score sheet once again. Rashford getting a goal as well after Project Restart as well. Some positives to take away from that game, but there's also some negatives to take away that we really need to improve on, and that's defensively. We did not keep it tight at the back. We're a little bit open as well in defence. Bournemouth sort of opened us up a little bit as well defensively. We just weren't a unit when they scored. We were defensively not a unit when they scored. We didn't keep it tight at the back. We were a little bit open. It was just one of those games, really. It was just one of these games where that we have to sort of go away from that game, take the positives and go on work on the negatives at the end of the day. There was a few times last night where we didn't defend well. We went 1-0 down inside the first 15 minutes, then Bournemouth got a penalty in the second half. Are those mistakes creeping back in again? A few mistakes, I don't think, the mistakes are creeping back in again. I think it was just the fact that, like I just said there, defensively, we didn't keep it tight at the back. We were just a little bit open in defensively, but that was because Matic didn't do his job. Maguire as well didn't do a job as well in defence. But again, the first goal, De Gea should never be getting beat at near post. Something not going right there. The mistakes are not creeping back in, because at the end of the day, we've conceded like 6 goals, I think, in the last 16 games or something like that. At the end of the day, I don't think the mistakes are creeping back in, but I think we were just defensively not a unit when we let those 2 goals in. The second goal was down to VAR and wasn't a handball, but the first goal was a bit comical defending to give away. Obviously, De Gea getting beat at near post. I don't think the mistakes are creeping back in. I think it was just a little bit of a, what could you say, I can't really explain it, because it was just weird to go 1-0 down against Bournemouth and you're just thinking, this is a team that's battling for survival. I don't think the mistakes are creeping back in again. I think it was just the fact that, we defensively were not a unit. We didn't keep it tight at the back. We were just not rock solid at the back, and we just have made a few slip-ups, a few mistakes, really. But you shouldn't be making mistakes against teams like Bournemouth, who have been struggling to score goals. This is a team that 5th worst defence in the league as well. It's a bit embarrassing. At least we knew we got a reaction from the players, and I don't think the mistakes are creeping back in again, but it was just the fact that we're defensively not there in the game. It was all down to how the players reacted, and they reacted really well. They went and pushed on and scored 5 goals past Bournemouth at the end of the day, and we showed them who the real Manchester United was at the end of the day, and we deserved to win at the end of the day with the goals that we scored. How much of a credit has to go to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for what he's doing at the moment? He deserves a lot of credit right now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's done a fantastic job, what he's done so far right now. I think it's all when back in January where it made an impact, when Bruno and Igalo came in. As a team, Bruno's come in, he's changed the shape and he's changed the play as well. But with Bruno's attributes, he's come in, he's changed the team it's just the way how we've prepared for these games. About a year ago, we were struggling mentally and we couldn't really get that mentality there because things were not clicking for us. But with Bruno coming in and Igalo coming in, they've made a huge impact. But it's not only just that though. He's got the place that he wanted. He tried to get Bruno in the summer. It didn't come. He didn't come in. But at the end of the day, what Solskjaer has done the last 7 months, it's been fantastic, and he deserves all the credit. A couple of weeks ago when we drew to Tottenham, people were saying he's an overrated manager. Ole in, Ole out, and you've got all the Ole out brigades out, and you've got all these people on the Ole out brigade. So at the end of the day, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he deserves a lot of credit right now for what he's doing. He's not only just got his right team now. He's got the game plan there in every single game, game in, game out. His game plan is there. He prepares the players for the games really well now. And he's got a good coaching staff around him, and with the good coaching staff around him and with the team that he's got right now, then you can sort of push on with us back challenging now for Champions League and for us to chase into the top four, with Chelsea with 2 points in front of us and Leicester as well, and just in front of them. For what he's done so far right now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the last 7 months has been incredible, and he deserves a lot of credit. And all I'm going to say is my manager is doing really well for himself. People a year ago were giving him a lot of stick, a lot of hate, with him obviously doing the double on Chelsea, the double on Man City. It's fantastic. And we've made so much progress the last 7 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It just goes to show, when that one player comes in, it just changes the whole team. What he's done so far, Ole's fantastic. It's fantastic for sure. Who is my man of the match? It's got to be Mason Greenwood for sure. The 2 goals that he scored, fantastic, great player. How do we beat Aston Villa? So obviously we've got Aston Villa in the next game, in our next fixture. Actually, currently right now, Aston Villa are currently playing Liverpool. The score right now is, I can tell you, it is currently 0-0, and it's half time right now. So you know what, Villa are in a this is another game for us. You know, Villa are in a relegation scrap right now. You know, they're not that great themselves. I think they'll come into this game, they'll, you know, try to give us a good game like Bournemouth did, and at the end of the day, Aston Villa, they're a great team. You know, they've got a good coach. It's just a shame where they are right now, Aston Villa, because they've got, you know, some really good players in there, but they're just not doing well right now. I think, you know, with Villa in a relegation scrap right now, they're not defending really well. They've not scored a lot of goals recently, so it just goes to show of, you know, they need to improve now. And, you know, what do? Do they, you know, they're trying to fight for their lives to stay up, or are they going to go down? We don't know yet, but at the end of the day, you know, Villa are still open there in defence. They try to keep it tight, and with the players like Bruno into the team now and Igalo. But the way how we're playing in such fantastic form, I think Villa are not going to be able to deal with us at the end of the day. This is just another game for us. We're going to come in this game mentally, physically prepared, and you know, for Villa, it's just another game for us. We've got to go into that game, try and not go behind this time. We've got to make sure we start quick and bright into the game. We need to play with high intensity, high tempo, get them on the back foot. We play on the front foot, play with intent. The transition from defence to attack needs to be quick, and create some fantastic chances, make some runs in behind and get down the channels, use the flanks as well, and get in from behind, make some good runs in behind, and get to our basics and stuff like that, and push them out wide. And we've got some pace now with Rashford in the team, Martial, Fernandes, Pogba, and with the when you get your midfield right and your attack right and your defence right, you know you're going to play well as a team. So you just got to push on against Villa, and they'll try to give us a game, but they'll not get the game that they wanted. Obviously, with the fans not being in the stadium now, but just push onto them, get them on the back foot, get some low and hard crosses into the box, and I'm sure we will wrap up the goals. It's just a matter of fact, we've got to be patient, and we will be able to break them down slowly. And you know what, they've got Aston Villa have got the second worst defence in the league, so you know they're pretty open defensively, but they're currently doing well against Liverpool right now. Obviously, with Liverpool being crowned champions now, you know they've not done too well since after they've been crowned champions. But at the end of the day, this is another game to us. We've got to push on, and let's go and get the victory against Aston Villa. They'll try to give us a game. We just got to go out there, play with fight, passion, pride, play for the badge, play for the club. Go out there and let's go and get another 3 points on the board, and let's get up, and let's hopefully teams around us can drop points as well. at the end of the day. Getting into the goals now. First goal, Matic controls it, passed it to Rashford. Rashford passed it to Bruno. Bruno passed it to Greenwood. Greenwood controls it and scores an absolute cracker for 1-1. Second goal, Rashford steps up and scores a nice and composed penalty for 2-1. Third goal, Matic passed it to Bruno. Bruno passed it to Martial. Martial cuts back inside and scores an absolute cracker. Upper Benjamins for 3-1. Fourth goal, Bruno passed it to Shaw. Shaw crossed it in, a bit of a deflection. Martial regains possession, passed it to Rashford. There was a bit of a mess. Matic regains possession, passed it to Greenwood. Greenwood runs, goes out wide and scored another cracking goal for 4-2. Fifth goal, Bruno steps up and scores a great free kick for 5-2. Get into the stats now. Possession for Manchester United, it was 69.3%, and for Bournemouth it was 30.7%. Goals for Man United it was 5, and for Bournemouth it was 2. Total shots for Man United it was 19, and for Bournemouth it was 7. Shots on target for Man United it was 10, and for Bournemouth it was 3. Shot accuracy for Man United it was 52.6%, and for Bournemouth it was 42.9%. Shots inside the box for Man United it was 9, and for Bournemouth it was 5. Shots outside the box for Man United it was 10, and for Bournemouth it was 2. Total passes for Man United it was 648 passes. For Bournemouth it was 283 passes. Pass accuracy for Man United it was 88.7%, and for Bournemouth it was 75.6%. Getting into the substitutions now, Lindelof went off for Bailey. Talking about Lindelof's performance, weak for the cross that led to Stanislas scoring and came off at half-time for Eric Bailly. The reason why Lindelof went off was because he had a bit of a back injury. Matic went off for Fred. Talk about Matic's performance. Not as fresh as in the recent games, and his pass that Eric Bailly handled was horrendous. Assisted Mason Greenwood's second and substituted for Fred. Greenwood went off for James. Talk about Greenwood's performance. Scored with his left foot and scored with his right. 2 stunning finishes from a stunning player who was in the form of his young life. Rashford went off for Igalo. Talk about Rashford's performance. Should have claimed an assist when he played Fernandes in and put United ahead from a penalty spot for his 20th of the season. Martial went off for Mata. Talk about Martial's performance. Full if running, but on the fringes until he curled in a spectacularly for his 20th goal of the campaign. Got given another rest. Next up, we've got Aston Villa. Aston Villa are currently sat 18th in the table. Like I said, we've got to prepare mentally, physically, in the right way. This is just another game for us. Going with the game with the right mindset, the right mentality. This is just another game for us. Villa are in a relegation scrap. We've been playing teams now in the lower half of the table that we've done really well against. We've just got to keep that up now. This is another game for us. We should get through this one for sure. Aston Villa have scored 36 goals so far this season. Villa have conceded 60 goals so far this season. Aston Villa are scoring 1.1 goals per game. Villa are conceding 1.9 goals per game. Aston Villa have the second worst defence in the league. So far in 2020, Aston Villa have only won 2 games, and that was against Burnley and Watford. Aston Villa have won 7, drawn 6 and lost 19. They've lost to Tottenham 2-1, Bournemouth 2-1, Palace 1-0, Arsenal 3-2, City 3-0, Liverpool 2-1, Wolves 2-1, Chelsea 2-1, Leicester 4-1, Sheffield 2-0, Southampton 3-1, Watford 3-0, City 6-1, Bournemouth 2-1, Tottenham 3-2, Southampton 2-0, Leicester 4-0, Chelsea 2-1 and Wolves 1-0. 8 of those fixtures they have lost at home. The last time Man United won against Aston Villa was on Saturday the 16th of April 2016 and it ended 1-0 to the Reds. The last time Man United lost to Aston Villa was on Saturday the 12th of December 2009 and it ended 1-0 to Aston Villa. The players to look out for is Konza, El Mohammadi, House, Mings, Louise, McGinn, Loudsbury, Grealish, Horihan, Ali Ghazi, Jota, Transiger, Wesley and Davis. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.